Joe Biden let millions of bad hombres waltz across our border with no vetting, then gave them bus tickets and flew them all across the country. If you said the word invasion, they called you racist. And now that Trump's giving these guys the boot, Democrats have finally decided there is an invasion, just a different kind.
So they've been trying to tell us, Republicans, that the invasion is coming from south of the border. It would seem that the invasion into American cities is coming from law enforcement deployed by this administration to terrorize communities. Am I getting that right?
No, you're absolutely right. This president has unleashed a war on our own people and our communities. It is terrorizing our communities.
If men can be women and Liz Warren can be Indian, deportations can be invasions. Why not? It's starting to escalate. Democrats are calling ICE Nazis, and now Donald Trump's the terrorist in chief.
Not just fear, Jen, but actual terror that people are feeling, not just in Los Angeles, but especially in Los Angeles, because it's clearly Donald Trump's target right now. This is what Donald Trump wants. He wants the theatrics. He wants to send the message and escalate the terror that people are feeling.
Socialist sleeper cells heard the call and are reporting for duty. One guy just got arrested for threatening to kill Trump, Pam Bondi, and Stephen Miller. And if you want to get to Miller, you got to go through me first. Now that college jihadis are out for school for the summer, they've moved on from defending Hamas to Jose. A battalion of icebreakers tried to overpower agents outside an immigration court in San Francisco. Wow. Blue-haired cat ladies are on the loose, too. And they're Bridget McCroning ICE agents in broad daylight.
Idiot, not replying. And the moment I did something,
Now, in case you need a reminder about who these protesters are fighting for, this guy just got iced in Nebraska just this morning. An MS-13 kingpin. He's wanted in El Salvador for 5 homicides and is on that country's most wanted list. Would Democrats prefer a guy wanted for 5 homicides to keep hanging out in Omaha? Seems like it, because yesterday, anarchists tried blowing out the tires of a Border Patrol vehicle in California. They got handcuffed, and now we have the mugshots. Ladies, feast your eyes on that. And get this, remember we told you about that crew that ambushed ICE in tactical gear? One of the attackers' husbands, Biden gave him a green card, and now he's been arrested for tampering with evidence while feds were serving a search warrant. Trump says he's just the tip of the iceberg.
It's very sad. It's very bad. A lot of them are here. We came in and 21 million, I think it's higher than that, by the way, but they say 21 million people came in. Many of them are criminals. Many of them are murderers. 11,888 is what they say are murderers. And they came in through open border policies, no checking, no vetting, no nothing.
47 says, it doesn't matter who you are. If you attack our agents, we'll find you.
Do you think that this was an isolated incident, or do you think there's a national threat of a left-wing militia that is targeting ICE and CBP?
Well, I think you have some very stupid people in the left who have some money that are making it available to these people, because you look at the guns they had, they were brand new. You look at even the clothing they were wearing, it looked like it just came out of some military shop. So you have some very stupid people that if anything ever happened, they'd be the first to go. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Some ICE agents are choosing to wear masks because they're getting filmed by cartels and Trantifa while they're just doing their duty. And their families are getting doxxed, and they're getting death threats. But Eric Swalwell thinks ICE agents are cowards. He says real men don't hide their faces. Well, then Swalwell's not a real man because he hid his face for 2 years, which, in a way, we appreciate. Democrats finally found a mask they don't like, and now they're trying to pass a bill that prevents law enforcement from keeping their identities and their families safe. Trump was asked about this today.
I wouldn't be saying that if they didn't hate our country. You put them in great danger, tremendous danger. And it's sort of funny when people picket in front of Columbia, in front of Harvard, and they have masks on, more than masks. I mean, you can't see anything. Nobody complains about that. But when a patriot who works for ICE or Border Patrol puts a mask on so that they won't recognize him and his family, so they can lead a little bit of a normal life after having worked so hard and so dangerously.
Democrat voters are out for blood, and they want their elected leaders to do the same. Hips don't lie Hakeem, refusing to tell his own people to stand down.
One House Democrat saying, quote, and I'll read it to you, "Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public." How do you respond to that?
Well, we are in a more is more environment in terms of the unprecedented assault on the American way of life and our country that has been launched by Donald Trump and compliant House Republicans.
So after January 6th, Democrats told every Republican, condemn. But now that their people are trying to kill federal agents in cold blood, silent. John Fetterman, he might be the only person on that side of the aisle who backs the blue.
Absolutely unacceptable, terrible, awful. ICE agents are just doing their job, and I fully support that. And for me, and people in my party might, want to abolish it or treat them as criminals or anything that's inappropriate and outrageous. ICE performs an important job for our nation.
Violent illegals are off the streets, but Karen's begging the courts to bring them back.
We have to stop this mess. The idea of having troops go through the park and disrupt a children's summer camp or drive through the streets and just pick people off the streets. We don't know if a kidnapping is happening or what. And so our city attorney is leading the way. We're filing a lawsuit. We're calling for an injunction for this to stop. I'm clear about my job, which is to make sure that this city is safe for all Angelenos, regardless of when you came here, what country you came from, or why.
Karen was knocking back cocktails in Africa while her city burned. And then 6 months later, she let it burn again. She's not keeping her city safe. She's keeping it safe for MS-13. And the park ICE raided? There's no summer camp there. Look at it. That's a park it's like a Tren de Agua playground. It's riddled with needles and junkies. She should thank ICE for cleaning that mess up. And she should thank Trump for what he's doing with the traffic. Illegals are so scared of getting iced in LA, they're all hiding or self-deporting, and the freeway's wide open, we're hearing. It's not bumper to bumper as much on the 405 anymore. At least that's what sources are telling Primetime. Trump's doing what he was elected to do, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. The only thing Democrats want more than cheap labor is to get their own mugshots. And now some are practically begging to be deported.
Here's the thing. They are not going after criminals. They're going after anybody that is brown, that looks like me, that can't pass as what they say is a typical American. That's why you're getting people who are not undocumented actually arrested. That's the fear that exists.
If Trump was going after brown skin, wouldn't we have heard of one American wrongfully deported, just one? It's July. There's a lot of brown out there. So far, Homan's batting 1,000. Jails are filling up fast, and Alligator Alcatraz has its first inmates. And like most inmates, they're not happy. All 3 detainees told their wives that the bugs were getting inside. One of them saying that grasshoppers the size of his hand were springing into the tent. One detainee, sent to Alligator Alcatraz from a Florida jail following a dispute with his ex, was bitten on his face by mosquitoes a few times in his sleep. Oh my gosh, I can't believe an illegal got a mosquito bite. He's surrounded by alligators. He should be happy that's the only bite he got. It's not as bad as Abu Ghraib, okay? The migrants also complained the tents were a little too nippy. They might be the only people in Florida saying they're too cold. And while the illegals might need a couple of fly swatters and an extra blanket, the left is saying this is straight out of Nazi Germany.
We are normalizing a government agency disappearing people. We are normalizing, we're talking about it like it's no big deal that they are kidnapping people and transporting them to concentration camps, both domestic and foreign.
Are there gas ovens at these?
It's not a death camp. It doesn't matter. It's a concentration camp what they're doing, and they are disappearing people, claiming that these are people who have committed the most harsh crimes. But according to the reporting, less than 10% of these people have committed harsh crimes.
You know who else gets disappeared? Americans who commit crimes and go to jail. Remember when they tried to disappear Trump? That sure came back to bite. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.